Wouldn't it be nice if you could figure out what affects your credit score the most or the least? That way you could put all of your effort into the area that would make the biggest difference for you, right? Well, then let's stop lollygagging and get right into it. What's going on, my beautiful people? My name is Mark Beneke, a proud member of the Westland Auto family. In today's video, we're going to cover the impact of the 5 main factors that affect your credit score so that you know where to focus all of your attention. And I'll also throw in some tips on how you can use all of this in your favor. 5 factors affecting your credit score. Just in case you didn't watch the video on the factors affecting your credit score, I'll do a very quick recap. Factor number 1 is new credit. Number 2 is types of credit, or what's called credit mix. 3 is length of credit, or credit age. Number 4 is your total debt, and number 5 is your payment history. If you'd like to go a little bit more in depth, make sure to check out this video right there. For now, let's hop right into it. The factors that have the biggest impact on your credit score. Let's start with new credit. So how bad is this one? A whopping 10% of your score is right here. Okay, I understand it might have come off like it was sarcasm, or you might be thinking 10% doesn't really sound like much, but do not ignore this one. This is one of the fastest and easiest ways to fuck up your credit. I'm going to say it again. Do not ignore it. So how can you keep it positive? Only apply for things that you're sure that you need, and do it when you know that you're going to be able to buy it within a week. You're provided a shopping window by the bureaus, but don't stretch it out to the absolute end. And also, pre-plan things accordingly. For example, if you're planning on getting a mortgage, make sure that you hold off on applying for anything else until you do. Once you've got your home, then you can apply for other things. This will guarantee that you get the best possible approval odds and terms for your home. Now, for the number 4 spot, types of credit battles with new credit. 10% of your overall credit score is attributed to the types of credit that you have. You can keep this one positive by having a healthy balance of both revolving and installment credit. Installment credit is loans for things like cars, homes, personal loans, things like that. You take out a large lump sum. That's a huge bitch. And you pay it back in installments.
Nobody likes you and you're not funny.
Now, revolving is like a credit card or a line of credit. You're provided a pool of money that is available to you, but you don't have to use it. Therefore, you don't have to pay for anything unless you use it. If you take from the pool, then the available amount goes down, and then you have to keep paying it back to refill the pool again. With each payment that you end up making, the pool gets more and more filled up, and more becomes available to you again. Now, a word of caution here. While having both installment and revolving credit is good, you do not want to take out loans when you don't need them. So please understand, just because it's available doesn't mean that you have to take it out or you have to use it. Got it? Good. Because the next factor is ready for its spotlight. Number 3, your length of credit. We're looking at a hefty 15% of your credit score here. That's a pretty good amount. The longer that you've had credit for, the more positive effect it has on your score, because it shows a history of how well you've paid everything. More history, safer for lenders. So how can you keep this in your favor? 2 things. Number 1, don't cancel any credit cards or lines of credit. Even if you don't use them, just keep them open. Unless, of course, you're getting charged a pretty hefty fee just for having them. Number 2, even if you can pay off an installment loan, consider keeping it open for about 6 months to a year. This will give you a longer payment history, which will make you appear less risky to lenders. Now, something that you could try that I personally do is, instead of paying it off in full, pay off a very large chunk of it. This reduces the overall interest that you'd have to pay over the course of the loan, but it still keeps showing payment history. That satisfies their requirements of being able to see how well I keep up with payments, and my requirements of not having to pay tons of interest. And before I forget, I do have a requirement for you. It's a single, very small favor that I have to ask of you. All of us here at Westland have seen how destructive not getting in control of your credit and your money can be to your life. We want to help those who are ready for our help do away with bad credit and be able to achieve financial stability. Our program doesn't just get somebody a safe and reliable car. It gets them one that allows them to focus on what truly matters, using the tools and the step-by-step guide to be able to build their credit and get in control of their money. And because of that, I could really use your help finding them. So if you're in the Fresno area and you happen to know somebody who could use our services, all I ask is that you be kind to them by letting them know about us. Not only would you be rewarded for it, but you would also be helping them better their family's future. And if you're not in the Fresno area, then all I ask is that you just be kind to someone, anyone today. Something as simple as holding a door open for a stranger, can go a very long way. Thanks. Now coming through at number 2 is your total debt. This one is big, and rightfully so. A whopping 30% is attributed to your overall total debt. This is because you do not want to be overextended. Think of it this way. If you don't know how to swim and you're in a pool that goes up to your ankles, it's pretty safe to say that you're not going to be drowning. But if you're in a pool that goes up to your mouth, now to keep this working for you, you want to keep your debt under 30%. A very quick way of looking at this is, if you have a credit card with $1,000 limit, then 30% of that would mean that you can only use $300 of it. The lower your usage, the better it'll reflect on your credit score. Remember, keep the water to your ankles. Less than 30 to gain 30. And finally, the factor that has the biggest impact on your credit score, drumroll please, your payment history.
What?
That's right. We're talking over 1/3 of your score. 35%. Your past behaviors are the easiest way for somebody to try to predict your future.
If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, shoot it.
So if a lender sees multiple late payments, repos, charge-offs, or anything like that, then they can pretty much expect that the same thing could happen with them. So what can you do instead? Well, make all of your payments on time and in full, always. And never, ever, ever, ever pay late, ever. Seriously, it's that simple. A lot of it comes down to just using the tools available to you, reminders, and saving for the unexpected. So in other words, planning ahead of time. The more pre-planning that you can do, the easier this will become, and the quicker your credit score will skyrocket. And what's the best way to pre-plan? Budgeting.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Because ultimately, your credit score is just a representation of your overall financial stability. And the foundation of your financial stability is a budget, a strong budget at that. Without one, we're leaving things up to chance and hoping that we're driving in the right direction. Here's a secret for you. You're probably not. So that means it's crucial for you to set up your foundation well. If you do, everything else will follow. But that probably leaves you wondering, how do I even make a budget? I got you covered. For a step-by-step on building a solid budget that will lead you directly to have great credit, check out this video right here. Go on, click it. Go on, thanks. And I will see you there. Okay, bye.